Welcome to our first startup event. Hi, Polina. After a month of silence due to no other excuses than me spending too much time on the beach. Glad to have you back. We'll be using Run the World going forward. Polina, you're familiar with it through our Women in Quantum event. And this is due to the feedback that we got from many of our members who said much of the value really comes from networking. So we want to facilitate more networking between all of our CEOs and founders. And we will be doing that through the virtual lobby and the group networking there, and then the one-on-one matchmaking and maybe some group selfies as well. So that is really the key takeaway of as well the survey responses that we got from over a dozen of you, as well as probably 20 one-on-one conversations that we've had over the last 2 weeks with most of you. And that is what we'll be focusing on, making this matchmaking. So if you want to meet a fellow entrepreneur startup that is a member of OneQuantum, or you want to meet somebody but you don't really know who, let Denise or myself know, and we will facilitate that matchmaking session and introduction either during one of our weekly sessions or directly in between via email, Zoom, or any other way. We will also do going forward just one weekly session, which is obviously completely mandatory. We're not going to split groups into time zones anymore because it'd be really great if everybody can meet everybody ideally, and we don't expect everybody to stay up until the wee hours or get up before dawn. But it could be nice if some of you join, even if it's another time zone. It might be a little more inconvenient so that everybody can basis going forward. Other feedback that we got from you, and this is really the focus of our short introduction here today. Then we'll take any answers that you might, questions that you might have. We'll give the answers, you get the questions, unless you have some answers to share. Where that sales and marketing is becoming a top priority for many of you. This is also part of the survey result. Specifically, a lot of you said that branding, storytelling, social media are key topics that you're currently worried about, and that is absolutely something that we'd love to help with. I myself have founded almost 6 startups at this point. I have one successful exit, a couple learning experiences or failures, as the Europeans would say. I've mentored hundreds of startups. I've founded 2 startup accelerators, one in quantum tech, one in SaaS software and digital marketing. So if Denise or we don't have the answers for your social media, branding, storytelling, digital marketing efforts, then we absolutely know some of the best people that can offer you that answer, and we'd love to help you with it. We really think that storytelling, branding, positioning, differentiating is one of the key levers to success for a startup, and something that's often neglected and might seem insignificant in the realm of building qubits and spooky quantum hard or software. But it is something that not only customers but investors are extremely sensitive to and really are accustomed to seeing and evaluating. So we'll be focusing a lot on that. On that note, and let me briefly share my screen, Denise Tomaso from Entropica Labs and myself, we run a weekly video cast series called Quantum World Detangled. I know some of you have seen it before, but we would love to use Quantum World Detangled and the weekly videos we do as a platform for our members. So, if you're a founder, CEO of a quantum tech startup and one of our OneQuantum members, we'd love to host you on our show. We've done, let me find the videos, a dozen or so interviews so far with many interesting people, scientists. Here you see, from Australia, or Professor Frank Wilhelm Mauch from Germany, Tony Utley from Honeywell, Christina. We have you talking about Orca. So many very interesting people, and we'd love to offer up this platform as a marketing tool to our members. If you'd like to join us and be interviewed and questioned to 30 minutes, please shoot us an email. We'll schedule a time, and we'll get that done, edit it, make it look nice, and get it out across our social media channels, where we reach roughly 15,000 people a month. So this is some really nice exposure for them. Together with marketing, sales obviously is a correlated and the next big topic. Many of you are asking us, Denise and I, how to go about sales, where to find leads, how do you go about systematically sourcing leads, how do you get them into a sales funnel, how do you continuously work and convert that sales funnel, which is something that Denise does day in, day out, and night in and night out, because she doesn't sleep very much at Cambridge Quantum Computing. So she's a great resource to that, and it's something that I've been doing for the last 20 years as well in my entrepreneurship and management consulting career. So again, if we don't have the answer, we certainly know where to find the answer, and something that we love to help with. I'll make a shameless or shameful plug here in my own best interest, and I'll share my screen again. Part of a good marketing storytelling is data. Without data, the famous saying, you're just another person with an opinion, and that at the end of the day is not something that makes for a credible story. One of my efforts, the KISS data portal, part of my company, Interference Advisors, we just went live with a free showcase around a lot of different data points and insights that we're sharing for free. There's always a free set of data on the left side, and then we have more up-to-date or in-depth data sets that are only for paying customers. But again, if you're a OneQuantum member and there's something that you need that you don't see here on the free version, just give me a call and we'll work it out. We have a lot of data, 30,000 data points, startups by country, by application, over time, startups by funding. We have a quantum information science market size forecast that is very, very detailed and can be customized by region, by application, and many other metrics. We have investment trends by investor type, by investment stage, all the investors that have invested in 2020 within quantum information science so far, where they are investing, where the capital comes from. We talked, Psi-quantum, a big skew on the data here, but some interesting takeaways here that we're actually about to publish later this week. We have breakdowns by quantum hardware, quantum software, quantum computing modality. So if somebody wants to compare photonics to superconducting or topological, we also write research reports based on all of this data. We look at some of the product metrics, quantum volume, what quantum cloud access providers are out there, qubit count, and so forth, government programs, academic programs, by application, by country, and so forth. So please use this data. I believe it will be useful to you in your sales and marketing efforts, and something that's part of your story going forward. And if we can help you refine that story, we'd love to do that. The last topic that came up out of the conversations of the last 2 weeks on the survey is obviously fundraising, which is top of mind for many of you, probably more than half, which is great news, because it means that half of you do not need to raise any funds and are sufficiently capitalized to survive the rest of this year and much into next year. But fundraising is something that we're very familiar with as well. I'm a small investor. I help other companies raise funds. Denise, again, has been instrumental in raising funds for Cambridge Quantum Computing. So we have a lot of insights, learnings, failures to share here. We also have a very, very significant Rolodex of investors who has invested in computing, when and how and why, and can establish relationships there. So those few things, sales, marketing, fundraising, will really be much of the focus, at least over the next few weeks, for our startup members. And then putting everybody together. The benefits of networking are acknowledged by everybody. Obviously, we're all super busy, so we will do our best to facilitate more of this matchmaking in these weekly sessions, and in between, if any of you wants to meet anyone or has a question, is there a similar startup, is there somebody who has a similar challenge, or is looking to get the same sort of partnership or channel going, let Denise or myself know, and we'll find somebody for you to talk about, and potentially attack this together. We would also love to share some more news of our startups as part of the community, not publicly, but internally. So we're not looking for secrets, but we'll be reaching out to everybody to kind of get little updates. Polina, there's a lot of new and exciting things happening at Bait. Maybe we can get a couple bullet points out of you that we actually share with the rest of the community, and we'll be looking to do that with all of our members, to then also get to know each other a little bit better and facilitate this networking and hopefully joint and successful growth. So that's I don't even know that abbreviation, Paulina, but with the smiley face, I'll take it. You're agreeing. So thank you very much. Sounds good to me. All right, SGTM. Damn, I'm too old already. So that really concludes our little intro. We'll be doing this every week, and obviously it's voluntary. Come and go as you please, and hopefully a lot of you will come for the networking part, which we will be doing next. If there are any more questions, comments, put them into the chat. You can also request the mic. There's a little button, request the mic, and it will patch you in if you want to say hello to anybody. Otherwise, you took this one from Google. All right, Paulina is Googling urban lingo. Very nice. Well, maybe that's a section that will start on our chat. So anybody who wants to request the mic, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll have the networking next, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, Paulina. And if you want to chat with Denise, myself, obviously you don't need a weekly meeting for that. We're always in touch. But there's this fun networking feature, so we'll be ending the session unless somebody requests the mic, and go to the what's called cocktail hour. Too early for cocktails for me, but if somebody wants to have a cocktail or coffee, that's great. The way it works is that it automatically matches all participants for a one-on-one conversation for a few minutes, and you can do as many of them as you want. So that's the come and go as you please part. We've done this in the past with other events, and this has also been a highlight because it actually allows folks to meet each other, exchange, and get to know people that you might not have thought about reaching out to. So that is the goal for the matchmaking networking. We'll be closing the session. I'll see you in the networking, and hopefully next week on email, phone, Zoom, anything else in between. Be well.